As I've been saying, we have leverage in two areas. We spend the same and we vote the same. Those are our two areas of leverage. That is almost $1.5 trillion annually that we spend, and that is also voting almost 100% Democratic. I know it's 90%, but 90% is almost 100. These are the two areas we have leverage in. And so if we want to do anything collectively, those are actually the two easiest things to choose and also the most impactful. First, let me talk about this generational curse of poverty. I believe we can break the cycle of poverty if we do these three things. If each person tries their hardest to do these three things, and that is first, own some property or a house. That is second, get some life insurance. And that is third, have a business, a way to generate some revenue on your own. Those three things can actually be passed down. So those three things you can use to start a legacy. And I'll say it again, that is property or house, that is life insurance, and that is some kind of business that generates some income. I believe we must become very proactive when it comes to breaking these generational curses. We must demand something for our vote. We must demand something for our vote. The black vote is a democratic vote. When they tell black people to vote, what they are saying is you can only vote for one party. This is what's unspoken, but this is the actual fact because 90% of us vote Democratic. So the whole campaign for black people to vote is for black people to vote for one party, and that is the Democratic Party.
We 90% vote in the Democratic Party, almost lockstep.
Right.
And you ask people, well, why you do it, and why are you voting this way against Trump? Why are you voting against you? Why are you in favor of Biden? Well, I don't really like Biden. Some people say I like Bernie. I like this one. I like but they say it's the lesser of two evils. Now, when you get in a position where you are taking the lesser of two evils, by sheer definition, you are taking the lesser. Why do we have to take the lesser? Why don't we take the better? And to me, the better could be come up with a cause that says Black Lives Matter is our cause, reparations is our cause, and going back to what the Congressional Black Caucus was founded with about 16 or 20 members in 1972. This is what their philosophy was.
We did not vote for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump got in office. So what does Donald Trump owe us? He owes us absolutely nothing because we did not put him in office. Now, when it comes to Obama, we voted for Obama in record numbers twice to put him in office. What does he owe us? That's right. He owes us everything because we put him in office. And that's how leverage works. You see, when it comes time to make demands, you must be able to bring something to the table or be able to take something away. And we must understand that we have leverage, again, in two areas. That is in the way we spend and the way we vote. We are the profit margin for most of these companies. That means these companies break even without us. That means they need us to spend to make a profit. And also our voting can sway an election. We vote, Obama gets 2 terms. We don't vote, Trump is president. None of this should be personal. This is why I want to remove race from the equation. This is business. None of this should be personal. We are going to go to the party that meets our demands. Simple. Because if we really dig deep, they all do the same thing. In fact, if we get to the bottom of all of it, we'll find that the whole purpose is so that we aren't empowered. The whole system was created so that we would not be empowered.
Martin Luther King didn't get killed because of I had a dream. He had something else he was going to talk about: black empowerment, economic empowerment. So, when I did the Forbes and I showed them the $890 million receipt and they still didn't say billionaire, they don't want us to know that we can buy land. They don't want us to have the 100% ownership that I have 100% ownership at Yeezy. And the reason why I say these things out loud in this way is so I won't be killed. I said it out loud already. This is what. But last year, I was killed by the press for having a difference. Not having a difference in opinion, for having an opinion.
This is why I say systemic racism was designed specifically for us, because they wanted us to be a certain way, so they created a narrative around us, and they enforced that narrative. They wanted us to exist a certain way, so they created a system that made sure we existed a certain way. This was all by design.
For black people, I just say, don't just be a demographic. Own your power. Your power is not just to vote Democrat for the rest of our lives. That's not the power, just voting on who they told us to vote on. That's not what the power is. The power is when I talked to my lawyer and Adidas was treating me mean, and I had 7 points of termination, I put on my trench coat and said, "We moving these factories to America." And that's how it's going to be. And when I run for president in 2024, we're going to definitely know what y'all laughing at. When I run for president in 2024, we would have created so many jobs that I'm not going to run, I'm going to walk. When y'all read the headlines, Kanye's crazy, this is that, this, that. It's like 1 in 3 African Americans are in jail, and all the celebrities are in jail also, because they can't say nothing. They have no opinion. They're so scared.
So the bondage they have over us is race. And if you notice, everything they cater to is our skin color. This is why I say, let's remove race from the table and let's make this about what we want. You have to appeal to what we want and not our skin color.
They were fighting for us to have the right to our opinion, not the right to vote for whoever the white liberals said black people are supposed to vote for. You get what I'm saying? And then James Corden went in and said, well, this president, you're Christian, and this president, I don't see anything Christian about him. I said, okay, so last year y'all tried to tell me who I'm supposed to vote for because I'm black. Now this year, white liberals trying to tell me who I'm supposed to vote for because I'm Christian. That would be like, I live in Calabasas, so every one of my cars got to be a convertible, huh? Right. It's just all based on y'all vision of what I'm supposed to do. We are in a country where we allowed to like whatever we like.
You see, our goal is to be empowered. Our goal is to be empowered. But how are we going to be empowered if we keep doing the same things? How are we going to be empowered if we keep doing the same things? Something has to change. Something has to change. And for many of us, we'll have to go to the plantation and convince a lot of us that there is a better plantation up the road. We can't just come out and say we're going to get our freedom or that we are going to liberate ourselves.
7 years in, 6 years in to the Obama administration, when I was sitting at the Met balls, when I was sitting in front of white people and they thought, I wouldn't thought you would like Trump because of the racism. So you mean to tell me I make every decision based off my color? The most racist thing a person could tell me is that I'm supposed to choose something based on my race.
On a lot of stuff, we're going to have to agree to disagree. Because I think we're going to walk out the door with the same way that we walked in. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I've been saying. Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I'm here to celebrate you.
The system of control is mental, physical, and spiritual. So we actually have to know what we actually want.
God is showing that you can have your own thoughts, bro. I've been canceled before there was cancel culture. Who told you that my career would be over? The same people that are telling you that you can't have a right to say who you will vote for, those people will be soon to take Jesus out to school. Wake up, Mr. West, wake up, culture. Wake up. Everybody think they so woke, but they following the rules of what woke's supposed to be. I have turned my back on the idea of victimization mentality. We brainwashed out here, bro. Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
So in order for us to truly think freely, we have to think outside of the confines of white oppression, meaning we have to be deprogrammed from what white oppression says we are.
Now, when you get in a position where you are taking the lesser of two evils, by sheer definition, you are taking the lesser. Why do we have to take the lesser? Why don't we take the better? And to me, the better could be come up with a cause that says Black Lives Matter is our cause, reparations is our cause, and going back to what the Congressional Black Caucus was founded with about 16 or 20 members in 1972. This is what their philosophy was.
And you might think, what do they owe us? What does America owe us? And my answer is everything. This is why I encourage for us to do these financial boycotts. We pick certain companies and boycott them for 3 months, and I guarantee they'll want to come to the table. They only respect two things. That is money and immediate loss of life. So if we are not willing to wage war, then the next best thing is for us to use our economic power.
Black Americans should have no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interests. We should form our own, what I call PIP, Permanent Interest Party. Say to the Democrats, you want our vote, VP Biden, to be the president now? Here's what we want. We want reparations. We want fundamental implementation of all the policies of Black Lives Matter. What are they going to say? Well, we're not going to do it. If Biden had said that down in South Carolina, he wouldn't be nowhere near being the president. That's what we have to do. We have to take control of our destiny. No minority group in a society has ever taken control of its destiny by becoming a permanent appendage of a dominant society.
If they can't cater to you being black, they don't have a sales pitch. If they can't cater to your emotions, they can't trick you.
Any minority group in a two-party system in particular, if they say we're going to ignore the other party and only give our support to the other party, you're going to become, back to where we were in slavery, a chattel piece of property of the dominant party. And that's why VP Biden had enough nerve, if you call it, to say on your show, you ain't black unless you vote for me. How could you ever conceive of somebody saying to somebody white, you ain't white unless you vote for me? That would never enter their brain. But they'll do it with us because we have become chattel to them. They feel they are our masters. And that's what we do. We've done it since John F. Kennedy days and everything else. We just said,
now is the time that we use our leverage. Now is the time we become who God said we were.
We ain't gonna do permanent interests. We're gonna do permanent friends.
And what do you think would happen if PIP approached Donald Trump with these same demands?
Well, you know what you'd have to do with those same demands? To get power and control power, the first thing you got to do is show power. So if you want to make somebody else concerned about your ability as to be the balance of power between Republicans and Democrats, you know what you do? What you do is this. You simply say, guys, let's demonstrate our power. Let's vote PIP, Black Lives, BLM. Let's put in that line where it say President, BLM, PIP, whatever you want to put in that line.
And as a wise man once said, we must be committed to the solutions. That means whatever solution we come up with, we must be committed to it until we see it through, because commitment will break these chains.
All of a sudden, all of those black votes in key states, you know, so-called toss-up states, and basically that's what happened with Hillary. Black folks said, I ain't motivated enough, I ain't gonna show up. Trump won. show white America that if we move left this way because they're in our permanent interest, or we move right this way because they're in our permanent interest, we become the power brokers in America. We're 40 million strong, growing faster, we and the Hispanics, growing faster than the white population. So I don't care how you're feeling now. 10, 15 years from now, the majority.
And our solutions should not be what we've done in the past. Our solutions should be something that we've never done before. And that will take faith, not fear. Wait for it. Free blanks. Get money. Go.